cara triste, la que alegró el primer abrazo nuestro, la que llovió sin conocernos antes y desandamos tantas lluvias.
So first I want to say a big thank you to the committee. As ever, they've done an absolutely incredible job. We invite you to really enjoy networking with the people and the beautiful stalls and the amazing range of exhibitions, films, talks and other things that we have here to delight you and inspire you.
Muele conmigo, como dice, y muele, y muele.
Some of you may have seen the film Missing, which was all about that tragic sequence of events.
Of the music and ideas that Victor Jara created and practiced over 50 years ago, and which live in us today because of our memory of him. Above all, we remember those whose lives were cut short in 1973 and throughout the entirety of the horrific dictatorship that deprived us of their beauty, love, intelligence, and potential contribution to a better, more just world.
Not individual greed can save the Amazon. We need to pull together, not pull apart. Thank you.
Welcome Keith Jackson and Tony Corden.
And when I listened to these songs, it was quite a poor recording of the songs, but it wasn't kind of so much like, oh, these are interesting songs. It was, they had a huge impact on me.
And we put a lot of time, my wife and I, Carmel, in the festival in the first few years, building up the funds, producing a constitution so that we could apply for funds, and then trying to make sure that what we did was represent Victor Jara, the man, and not just the singer. Victor Jara as a key figure in Unidad Solidar.
Neither of us, I don't think, knew about the degree of solidarity from Wales towards Chile during the Pinochet dictatorship. And as we started developing the festival, it was all sorts of people came out of the woodwork. David Ewan, the great Welsh folk singer, and various other people.
Well, the first session in what is now the Victor Jara room was packed out and people couldn't get in.
Businessman and according to Helms Burton also, your family may be banned in the US.
To come to that, and then Cuba offered to come, so that is another demonstration of international solidarity and cooperation.
As fair as ends, the sun shines on, but how to say it, I do not know.
So, wow, this looks a wonderful book. I'd love to buy this book off of you.
Well, no, because that is through my own personal journey of running away from the secret police and what I saw and what I experienced. I encountered many people who did not have any interest about politics, but they were just decent human beings who would not just keep quiet in seeing so much brutality and so much unfairness. Dices, para Tony, quien ha hecho realidad que el sueño exista. Gracias, compañero. You have,
muy conmovedor.
You have made it more than just words.
Muchas gracias.
Para mucha gente, muchas gracias.
Levántate y mira la montaña. You can sing. De donde viene el viento, el sol y el agua.
Tú
levántate y mírate las manos. Para crecer, estrecha la tu hermano.
Two Latin American poets.
Oh, no, England.
Not, not England. Okay.
It was really a deception for me because we were really looking for the revolution in that time.
So we are not Europeans, we are not first world, we are in between. Remember that we were talking about the third world.
En el agua de sus ojos se bañaba el verde claro, gateaba su corta edad con el potito embarrado, con la pelota de trapo, con el gato y con el perro, y el caballo lo miraba.
We dream of a fairer, more compassionate world, and we all get together, and it's very lovely. It's very moving to see so many people here, and the wonderful music and the spontaneity of the event. It takes a lot of planning, but also it creates space for spontaneity as well, which is so important. Perhaps contributes a grain of sand to counter the rise of reform and fascism in that's the wave of it that seems to be taking over at the moment.
That will come from there. The only thing I can say to you is that the number of refugees have diminished enormously in the last few years. There were many, many more before.
To the UK and going elsewhere. And I am a translator as well. And I read all these stories.
But what he did was to illegally use the armed forces. He said for this war on drugs, but it just meant that they were encouraged, the armed forces, to go in with all guns blazing.
Kind of plain road, and then you start going up and we feel at home. So coming here to Mahanlich, is that what you say? Sorry about my Welsh. Anyway, cantemos esta canción, dice Canción con Todos.
And unsurprisingly, British companies as well overwhelmingly welcomed the coup.
Pushing the issue of Pinochet's support to Britain during the Falklands War in order to pressure the UK government not to extradite him. And more evidence has also come out to support this thesis recently in the declassified files.
When Wilson came to power 6 months later, aid was cut off to Chile, there was an arms embargo, but the British businesses in Chile were outraged about this. They sent him about 4 telegrams complaining about the British government's, the Labour government's unfriendly attitude to the Pinochet regime.
The advisor added, it would obviously be embarrassing if all this came out. So the argument put simply is that the UK in effect betrayed Chileans, deprived them of justice, in order to facilitate the UK government's ability to go to war in the future.
No, but those are just some of them. That's just Christine had mentioned that because sometimes people in the back can't hear you.
Well-being, all this action.
From birth until life closes, hearts stop as well as bodies. We take bread and we take roses. As we come marching, marching, a number of women there go crying through our singing their ancient call for bread.
We really need to act very fast to save it.
This sort of land grab that I documented quite extensively in the 1970s and 1980s is continuing, despite all the protests from the government that they're controlling it.
Devastates roads, devastates mines. It is living its own apocalypse.
So they have to use air transport, which sounds like a contradiction, but air travel does actually protect the Amazon.
Took her to the roots of the plant and buried her among the leaves.
No más tareza, hacen falta muchas cosas para conseguir la paz. Las first. Cuando el pueblo se levante y que hay todo que cambiar, ustedes quedan conmigo, no bastaba. Jamás será vencido el pueblo unido. Jamás será vencido el pueblo unido. Jamás será vencido.
¡Viva Venezuela!
¡Viva Venezuela!
¡Fuerza Venezuela! ¡Estamos contigo! ¡Gringo, go home!
¡Gringo, go home! Estamos para conseguir la paz. Last time. No basta rezar. Hacen falta muchas cosas para conseguir la paz. Viva la paz! Viva la primera!
Of course, we were on the jury. We didn't know who the poets were. It was anonymous, but it's an extraordinary poem. All the three we had we had a terrible decision because the quality of the poems was so high. So we had 4. There's supposed to be 3 main prizes, but we had to share the third one because we couldn't actually choose. So there we are, a fantastic competition, and we're going to introduce them now.
La leche cortada. En el fondo, es fácil reírse del abismo cuando llevas toda la vida
A few actually made reference to either directly in the poem or in connection to the person who was the poet to different charitable organisations. And we do want to mention that because there are some to do with autism and neurodivergence, some to do with animal charities like the Soy Dog Foundation, Music for Hope, and then we will also be linking through next year's theme to Palestinian causes.
Just because it's going to start raining, isn't it?
To denounce what's happening in a way that was creative. And Jimena is now going to explain the significance of this.
Together or maybe taken at the same time. And this is why it's quite important that the testimony of survivors, of our parents, this information is shared, and passed on to our generation.